You've been searching for it your entire life. That feeling of being truly loved. Not the surface kind, not the temporary kind, not the conditional kind, but the real thing. The kind that stays when everything else falls apart. And maybe you've questioned whether you've ever experienced it. Maybe you've wondered if the person beside you is the one. Maybe you felt something missing but couldn't name it. Today, that changes, because true love isn't as complicated as the world makes it seem. In fact, psychology has revealed that a person who truly loves you will give you two specific things. Just two. But these two things are so powerful, so transformative, that once you recognize them, you'll never confuse real love with anything less again. And here's what most people don't realize. One of these two things is something you can feel the moment someone walks into a room. The other is something that reveals itself slowly, quietly, in the moments when no one else is watching. If you've ever felt confused about whether someone truly loves you, if you've ever questioned whether you should stay or walk away, if you've ever felt like something was missing, but everyone told you to be grateful, then what comes next will give you absolute clarity. Your heart already knows the truth. Now your mind is about to catch up. If you're ready to finally understand what real love looks like, type "I'm ready" in the comments. Not for me, but as a signal to yourself that you're done settling for anything less than what you deserve. Because what I'm about to share with you will change the way you see every relationship in your life. Let's begin. The first thing true love gives you. Presence. You felt it before. The difference between someone who is physically there and someone who is truly present. Most people never learn this distinction. They think showing up is enough. They think being in the same room, answering your texts, sitting across from you at dinner, that's love. But your soul knows better. Your soul knows the difference between a body that exists near you and a heart that chooses to be with you fully. True presence is rare. It's becoming rarer every day. We live in a world where people are always half somewhere else, half on their phone, half in their thoughts, half planning their next move, half wondering what they're missing. But when someone truly loves you, they give you something most people have forgotten how to give. Their full attention. Not just their eyes, their energy. Not just their time, their focus. Not just their words, their awareness. When they're with you completely. No distractions, no divided mind, no performance, just presence. Think about the last time someone made you feel like you were the only person in the world. Not because they said it, but because you felt it. Their phone could buzz and they wouldn't reach for it. Noise could fill the room and they wouldn't turn away. You could speak and they wouldn't interrupt, wouldn't wait for their turn, wouldn't plan their response while you were still talking. They just listened, fully, deeply, like every word mattered. That's presence. And it's one of the clearest signs that someone truly loves you. Because presence isn't passive. Presence is a choice. It's a decision someone makes every single time they're with you. A decision to put everything else aside and prioritize you. Not because they have to, not because you demanded it, but because being fully with you feels more important than anything else competing for their attention. Psychology calls this attunement. It's the ability to be emotionally synchronized with another person, to sense their mood without them saying a word, to notice when they're quiet in a way that means something, to feel the shift in their energy before they even realize it themselves. People who truly love you don't just hear your words, they read your silence. They notice when you smile, but your eyes don't follow. They catch the hesitation in your voice. They see through the "I'm fine" when you're not fine at all. And they don't ignore it. They don't let it slide. They lean in, they ask, they stay. This kind of presence can't be faked. You can't perform it. You can't schedule it. It comes from a place much deeper than effort. It comes from genuine care. from a heart that sees you as a priority, not an option, from a soul that values the moment with you more than the validation of a screen, more than the comfort of distraction, more than the noise of the world. And here's the part that will shift everything for you. If someone can't give you presence, they can't give you real love. I know that's hard to hear. I know you might be thinking of someone right now, someone who says they love you but is always elsewhere, someone who is there but not really there, someone whose body shows up but whose attention is always halfway out the door. That's not love. That's companionship. That's convenience. That's habit. But it's not love, because love without presence is just an idea. It's a word people say when they don't want to lose you but aren't willing to truly choose you either. Real love shows up, not just physically, energetically, emotionally, mentally, fully. And when you experience that kind of presence even once, you'll never accept anything less again. You'll recognize the weight of it, the peace of it, the way it makes you feel seen, heard, held without anyone touching you. You'll know what it feels like to not have to compete for attention, to not have to beg for focus, to not have to perform or pressure or remind someone that you exist. Because their presence will remind you, every time they look at you, every time they listen, every time they choose you over everything else demanding their attention. That's the first thing true love gives you. Presence. And it's not negotiable. It's not something you should have to ask for. It's not something you should have to earn. It's the foundation, the baseline, the absolute minimum of what real love looks like. But presence alone isn't enough, because there's a second thing, something even deeper. Something that most people never experience because they settle too soon, accept too little, or confuse intensity with intimacy. This second thing is what separates temporary love from the kind that lasts. It's what separates chemistry from connection. It's what separates someone who loves the idea of you from someone who loves the truth of you. If you've ever wondered why relationships that start strong fade fast, if you've ever felt like someone loved you until they really knew you, if you've ever hidden parts of yourself because you feared they'd leave if they saw the real you, then you need to hear what comes next. Because the second thing true love gives you will explain everything. And once you understand it, you'll finally know whether the love you're receiving is real or if you've been holding on to something that was never meant to last. The second thing true love gives you: safety. Not the kind of safety that comes from money or status or promises. Not security in the material sense. I'm talking about emotional safety, the kind that lives in your nervous system, the kind that allows you to exhale fully, the kind that lets you stop performing, stop pretending, stop holding your breath, waiting for the other shoe to drop. When someone truly loves you, they create a space where you can be yourself. Not the version of yourself you think they want. Not the filtered version, not the polished one. The real you, the messy you, the you that has bad days and old wounds and irrational fears and parts you've spent years trying to hide. True love doesn't require you to edit yourself. It doesn't ask you to be smaller, quieter, easier. It doesn't punish you for having needs or emotions or a past. It doesn't make you feel like you're too much or not enough. It simply holds space for all of you. The good, the complicated, the evolving, and it says, you're safe here. You don't have to hide. You don't have to pretend, I'm not going anywhere. That feeling is irreplaceable, and it's one of the rarest gifts a human being can give another. Because most people don't offer safety, they offer judgment, criticism, conditions. They love you when you're easy, when you're happy, when you fit into their idea of who you should be. But the moment you show them something raw, something vulnerable, something human, they pull away. They punish you with silence. They make you feel like your emotions are a burden. They remind you, subtly or directly, that their love has limits. That's not love. That's conditional acceptance. And your soul knows the difference. Your body knows the difference. Because when you're with someone who doesn't offer emotional safety, you're always tense, always editing, always wondering if this will be the moment they decide you're too much. You walk on eggshells. You apologize for things you shouldn't have to apologize for. You shrink yourself to make room for their comfort. You perform stability even when you're falling apart inside. Because you've learned that showing the truth of who you are might cost you the relationship. But when someone truly loves you, the opposite happens. You relax. You breathe. You stop performing. You stop managing their emotions. You stop trying to be perfect because you finally realize they're not asking you to be. They see your flaws and they stay. They see your fears and they don't weaponize them. They see your past and they don't hold it against you. They witness your pain and they don't make it about them. They hold space for your growth without rushing you. They give you room to be human without punishing you for it. Psychology calls this secure attachment. It's what happens when someone loves you in a way that doesn't activate your nervous system. You don't have to fight. You don't have to flee. You don't have to freeze or fawn or perform. You can just be. And that safety, that nervous system regulation, that deep cellular permission to exist as you are, that's what real love feels like. It feels like home. Not the place you grew up, not the house you live in, but the kind of home your soul has been searching for your entire life. A place where you don't have to defend yourself, a place where you don't have to prove your worth, a place where your existence is enough. And here's what most people miss. You can't build intimacy without safety. You can have passion without it. You can have chemistry. You can have intensity, excitement, obsession even. But you can't have intimacy, because intimacy requires vulnerability, and vulnerability requires trust. And trust only grows in the presence of safety. Think about the relationships you've had where you felt like you couldn't fully open up, where you kept parts of yourself hidden, where you smiled through your pain because you didn't think they could handle it, where you minimized your needs because you were afraid of being too much. Those relationships might have felt like love, but they weren't. They were performances. And performances exhaust you. They drain your energy. They leave you feeling lonely even when you're not alone. Because you can't feel truly connected to someone when you're constantly managing how they perceive you. Real love doesn't make you manage anything. It makes you feel free. Free to cry without explanation. Free to change your mind. Free to have a bad day. Free to need space. Free to ask for what you want. Free to say no. Free to be inconsistent, imperfect, evolving. And the person who truly loves you won't punish you for any of it. They'll witness it. They'll hold it. They'll honor it. Because they understand that loving someone means loving all of them. Not just the easy parts, not just the pretty parts. All of it. That's emotional safety. And without it, love is just a word, a placeholder, a hope, but not a reality. So here's the truth you need to hear. If someone says they love you, but you don't feel safe with them, that's not love. If someone says they love you, but you're constantly walking on eggshells, that's not love. If someone says they love you, but you can't be vulnerable without consequences, that's not love. Love is not a feeling someone has in private. It's an experience they create for you. An environment, a frequency, a space where your nervous system can finally rest. And if you've never felt that, if you've spent your whole life in relationships where you had to perform, edit, shrink, or hide, I need you to know something. It's not because you're unlovable. It's because you haven't met someone capable of truly loving you yet. And that's not your failure, that's their limitation. You are not too much. You are not too sensitive. You are not too broken. You're just human, and the right person won't make you feel like that's a problem. How these two things work together. Here's what changes everything. Presence and safety don't exist separately. They feed each other. When someone gives you their full presence, you begin to feel safe. Because presence says, you matter. You're worth my attention. I'm choosing you. And when you feel safe, you can be present too. You stop defending. You stop performing. You stop living in your head wondering if they're about to leave. You relax into the relationship, and that's when real intimacy begins. That's when love stops being a concept and becomes a lived experience. That's when you stop questioning and start knowing. This is real. This is it. This is what I've been searching for. And the beautiful thing is, once you experience both presence and safety in a relationship, you'll never confuse anything else for love again. You'll recognize the difference instantly. You'll feel it in your body. You'll know when someone is half there. You'll know when someone is performing love instead of living it. You'll know when you're being tolerated instead of cherished. And you won't settle. Not anymore. Because you'll have tasted the real thing, and nothing less will ever be enough. Now, I want you to think about the relationships in your life. The romantic ones, the friendships, the family bonds. Ask yourself honestly, do the people who say they love you give you presence and safety? Or are you constantly fighting for attention and walking on eggshells? Are you fully yourself around them? Or are you performing a version of yourself you think they'll accept? Do you feel seen, heard, and held? Or do you feel alone even when they're right beside you? These questions matter because your peace matters, your nervous system matters, your heart matters, and you deserve to be loved in a way that doesn't require you to abandon yourself. You deserve presence, full, undistracted, intentional presence. You deserve safety, the kind that lets you exhale, the kind that lets you be human without penalty. These two things aren't luxuries. They're not bonus features. They're not things you should feel grateful for if you happen to get them. They're the foundation of real love. And if the person you're with can't give them to you, then what you have isn't love. It's something else. Maybe it's attachment. Maybe it's comfort. Maybe it's fear of being alone. But it's not love. And you deserve love. The real kind. The kind that doesn't make you shrink. The kind that doesn't keep you guessing. The kind that shows up fully and stays. The kind that says, you're safe here. I see you. I'm not leaving. That's what true love looks like. And it's not as rare as you think. It's just that most people have never experienced it, so they settle for less and call it love. But you don't have to. Not anymore. Because now you know. Now you can recognize it. Now you can stop accepting half love, distracted love, conditional love, and start asking for what you actually deserve. Presence and safety. These two things. That's it. That's the standard. And anyone who truly loves you will meet it. Not perfectly, not every single day, but consistently, intentionally, without you having to beg for it. So if you're in a relationship right now and you're questioning whether it's real, ask yourself, do I feel fully seen when I'm with this person? Do I feel safe being myself? If the answer is yes, hold on to that. Protect it. Nurture it. Because you found something most people spend their entire lives searching for. But if the answer is no, if you're constantly performing, constantly anxious, constantly wondering if they really see you or if they're just going through the motions, then it's time to be honest with yourself. You deserve more. And the longer you stay in something that doesn't truly nourish you, the longer you delay meeting the love that will. This isn't about being picky. This isn't about having impossible standards. This is about honoring your worth. This is about understanding that love isn't just a word, it's an action, a frequency, an experience. And real love will always give you these two things: presence and safety. Remember that. Write it down, carry it with you, and never settle for anything less, because you are worthy of being fully seen, fully held, fully loved. Not because you're perfect, but because you're you. And that has always been enough. If this resonated with you, if you felt something shift inside your chest while reading this, type "I deserve real love" in the comments. Not for me, not for the algorithm, but as a declaration to your own heart, a promise that you're done settling, a commitment to yourself that from this moment forward, you will only accept love that gives you presence and safety, because you deserve nothing less, and your heart has always known that. Now the rest of you is finally catching up. Your journey toward real love starts the moment you decide you're worthy of it. And you are. You always have been.